What is up, you guys? Welcome to another edition of the Game Changer. It is indeed another edition of the 12 Days of Bookings, where I basically take things and I show off the fact that I am an effing genius. No ding required. So for this episode, this was actually a suggestion created by Kayla Kelly, who you can follow on Twitter at Kayla Moonshoes, who suggested the idea of having Sami Zayn and Taz pair up a bit. So this is kind of an interesting storyline, because the fact is that Taz is definitely one of those guys who does not want to come out of retirement. He's at the point where he's like, I'm done wrestling. So I thought to myself, well, what if we did something different with that? Not necessarily make him a wrestler, but make him a manager again, where he definitely was a good manager. I liked him when he was paired with Samoa Joe. I think that was just a wasted opportunity, that they just really just missed the ball with that. It's a really good deal that they could actually do again with somebody else, and there is a certain somebody else in the name of Sami Zayn who I think that it could be a pretty prominent and very interesting pairing to have the two of them. So the question here is, how would we do this? Well, let's give it a shot and see what happens. So how would I book Sami Zayn to start off? Well, hopefully at this point, Sami Zayn would be okay in time for the Royal Rumble. And by okay, I mean fully recovered. I think that was enough time to bring him back at this point. I know that I think he had, I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was either messed up shoulder or if it was something with his leg. I'm trying to remember exactly what the injury was. But hopefully by this point he is fully recovered. Not one of those situations like where we have a CM Punk deal where he's, just got done with surgery or just got done healing up, and then it's just like, okay, well, your prognosis is, this time we're going to bring you back sooner. So hopefully it's one of those situations where okay, he's going to be back, he's going to be at 100%, we're good. So he comes back at the Royal Rumble, and he actually does not win the Royal Rumble, but he still has a very good showing. We see him do the classic, Sami Zayn deal where he's just going absolutely crazy. Helluva kick after Helluva kick. I would love to see a Helluva kick party. I don't know about most of you guys, but that would just be absolutely beautiful to see him doing one Helluva kick after another. Maybe just to 5, 6 guys. I just think that would be absolutely amazing to see him coming back. Of course, he does not win, but he still has an impressive showing, because even when you lose at the Royal Rumble, if you have a really good showing, you can definitely still be one of those stars that people look on and think, oh, he's going to have a really good, year this year, probably. So he gets into a program with Bobby Lashley. Obviously the guy who injured him in the first place and who injured his best buddy, Kevin Owens. So you can definitely incorporate that into a deal. And basically, Sami Zayn wants to get revenge on Bobby Lashley for injuring him. Now to start, we see Bobby Lashley defeating Sami Zayn and just getting a whoop on him on every turn. Bobby Lashley is just proving to be too strong. He's just not to be taken lightly. And they eventually evolve into having a matchup at Elimination Chamber, where we see Sami Zayn and Bobby Lashley, and Lashley defeats Sami Zayn. So Sami Zayn is thinking, okay, well, obviously my normal tactics that I'm doing here are not working. So he thinks, okay, I need to start training and getting a better moveset. So he actually starts doing some different, he starts really just changing it up quite a bit with his movesets. We see him actually having more of a technical style, even more than what he probably has right now. He is still doing suplexes, he's doing quite a deals, he's doing Blue Thunder Bombs, he's still doing Helluva kicks, but he's also adding some really good submission maneuvers to his repertoire. And during the weeks building up to Fastlane, we see him doing these, different submission maneuvers. Maybe it's like a variation of a Boston Crab, or he does the Koji Clutch. He does a lot of these, and he's getting submission victories over numerous opponents, and he's proving that he can hang with Lashley if he puts his mind to it, and he challenges Lashley to a rematch at Fastlane. Lashley's just kind of like, I already beaten you already, I don't need to beat you again. And basically, he finally gets Lashley's attention by giving him a nice smack to the face, in which Lashley is like, okay, it's your death wish, you got it. So Lashley versus Sami Zayn at Fastlane is a wrestling clinic. These two definitely go on for maybe 15-20 minutes of just absolutely a pure wrestling matchup between the two of them. We see Sami Zayn actually getting some really good offense and some really amazing counters on Lashley. We see Lashley trying to do, his Yokozuna driver, but Sami Zayn is able to counter into an arm drag. He tries to go for a spear, but Sami Zayn is able to counter into the Koji clutch. He's doing a lot of these moves in which a lot of people are just thinking, he could do it, actually. Sami Zayn could probably beat Lashley here. But it gets too physical to the point where it ends in a no contest, whether it's a double DQ, whether it's a double countout. These two guys are just laying each other out, and they're just going absolutely crazy on each other. We see then Lashley finally getting a bit of an advantage on Sami Zayn. Lio Rush gets involved. Yes, Lio Rush is still involved in this. And it looks like he's going to try and cripple Sami Zayn with the help of Lashley. And that's, of course, when we hear the classic, do-do, do-do, beep, 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 dun, 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 dun. Taz's music hits. He comes out, and the crowd is just going absolutely insane because it's a long time since they've seen Taz. And this distraction allows Sami Zayn to take out Lio Rush, as well as give a giant haluva kick to Bobby Lashley, and it gets revealed via Taz that, hey, I've been the one who's been training Sami Zayn. I've been the one giving him this motivation. I've been reminding him that he needs to go back to that place where he is just a huge, massive human being who he has the motivation, he has that focus, he has that desire again to be the guy. So basically, he's basically wanting to tune in the Sami Zayn that we had at Battleground a few years ago when he fought against Kevin Owens. That Sami Zayn was brutal. That Sami Zayn was intense. That Sami Zayn is the Sami Zayn that I think a lot of people really want to see again. So we're seeing that Sami Zayn coming out here. And Bobby Lashley and Zayn is saying, hey, I want one more shot at Lashley, in which Lashley, at first is just like, yeah, no, I'm not doing that. But he is then told that, hey, this is what's best for business, and I want to see this happen. So we are going to have Lashley versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania in a submission match. So we have two guys who are just really trying to tear each other apart, and they're going to have to try and make each other submit at WrestleMania. During this time, we see Sami Zayn and Lashley kind of doing separate programs from each other on the build there, because you want to kind of build that anticipation all the way until, I would say, the last Raw before WrestleMania. My apologies. And this will also include having Taz call up somebody to take on Lashley, and that person being Tommy Dreamer. So we get Tommy Dreamer in this build-up here. We get a little bit of like an ECW reunion between Taz and Dreamer. Dreamer and Lashley take on each other in a hardcore matchup in which Lashley shows his dominance, and he's able to make Tommy Dreamer pass out. During this matchup, we see Sami Zayn again using more submission-style maneuvers. And then we get to the final Raw before WrestleMania, in which Lashley and Zayn just go at each other, and people are just going absolutely nuts. They're thinking, holy cow, this is a really good build-up to Lashley and Sami Zayn, because now these two have definitely showcased each other and have really shown each other that they're going to be a real barn burner of a matchup. So, it's set up. We get Lashley versus Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Taz is in Sami Zayn's corner. Lio Rush is in Lashley's corner. These two guys just pull out all the stops. They throw out great submission maneuvers. Lashley tries to use his power game. Sami Zayn uses the technical prowess as well as his speed to counteract that. Lio Rush gets involved, but then we see Taz knock down Lio Rush, lock in the Taz mission on Lio, making him pass out. It looks like Lashley's about to pick up the victory, but Zayn is able to counter. He's able to fight back. And then he locks Lashley in a Taz mission of his own. Now, a lot of people are thinking, well, there's no way that could really work. Here's the thing. It doesn't matter the size. If there's a big guy that you're fighting, you could be the smallest guy in the world. If you use the submission maneuver correctly, you can definitely still take down a really huge guy if applied correctly. So we get the build-up to where Sami Zayn does the spot where he does the 3 haluva kicks. Lashley is barely able to stand. He's on his knees. He is just absolutely wrecked. Sami Zayn locks in the Taz mission, and Sami Zayn just locks it in tight. You see him just doing that. And Lashley passes out with the pain, and Sami Zayn picks up a huge victory at WrestleMania. And also, he gets a new submission maneuver finisher as his finisher, because this will be one of those moments where we see Sami Zayn basically be endorsed by Taz to use the Taz mission. And after that, honestly, guys, I would have Lashley versus Sami Zayn have one more matchup going into Backlash. I would dare say I would have an Iron Man match between the two of them, and the winner gets a shot at the Universal Champion, which would be, I think it would be Seth Rollins at this point. So then we can have Sami Zayn beat Lashley, or it could even go the other way around, where Sami Zayn still has a really good showing. Eventually, Kevin Owens would come back. We have the two of them compete for the tag titles, and then we would have Sami Zayn get the victory. He would start reestablishing himself, is what I'm saying. And then eventually we would have Sami Zayn versus Seth Rollins for the Universal Championship. That's kind of where I would have it. And honestly, I think this served as a pretty good story. It's kind of a shorter one than I've been doing. But, with Taz, there's not too much that you can really do because he can't as much. But at the same time, we're trying to look out for his safety. But it's still enough that we can get the nostalgia of having an ECW deal. We can still have the nostalgia of Taz coming back and training Sami Zayn, to where Sami Zayn would get the endorsed Taz mission as a new finisher. It's just one of those things where it's like, yeah, I think it'd be really cool to see that. So, yeah, that's how I would book Taz and Sami Zayn at building it up to WrestleMania, and again, having a really good matchup for Sami Zayn. He gets his revenge on Lashley, and he can, again, be another technical guy, and he can start really going out there and putting on hell of a matches. So that's how I do it. Kayla, how did you feel that I did this deal? Hopefully it exceeded your expectations, if not at least met them. Again, guys, there's still quite a bit going on. How would you book Sami Zayn versus Taz? Would you book it at all? Or is there a different way that you would go about doing it? Either way, guys, let me know in the comment section below. You know how to follow me on Twitter. You know how to give us a like on Facebook. You definitely know that you can follow us on Spreaker.com, YouTube, as well as on iHeartRadio to hear more of these crazy antics and crazy episodes. So thank you so much. And we are getting to the closing point of these 12 days of bookings. So thank you guys so much, and I will talk to you in the next episode. Bye-bye.